Let's return to our body and feel the sensations that are being created by the organs. The organs are a demonstration of the wisdom and the kindness of the Creator. But because they work so seamlessly and they don't make noise, we just take them for granted. But what they're doing, we wouldn't be able to do with a machine, even if we made a lot of noise and a lot of movement. The organs are doing seamlessly, an organic process. Within that silence hides a tremendous amount of movement, a very silent, very subtle movement, but nevertheless a very real movement. All the big movements are based on these small movements. All the loud movements are based on these silent movements. All the visible movements are based on these subtle movements. And so let's return to the body in order to listen into these movements, to be present within them. They are us moving through matter in order to create a vehicle for us. It's our own energy that's animating these organs. The same energy that's animating my mouth, animating my brain to think, animating my heart with the desire to speak. It's all that same one that's animating all of this, that's behind all of it, that's making all of it happen. So let's return to that one by becoming present in the body where he is making it all happen. And as we feel the sensation within the organs, each organ has something to tell us. Each organ is completely silent, and yet maybe there's something that's not completely silent that's telling us something. We've accumulated within our organs so many experiences. Our organs have reacted to all those experiences, and to how much of those reactions, to how many of them have we listened? How aware are we? How in tune are we? This attunement directly affects our intuition, our ability to interact accurately with an environment. If we haven't listened to our organs, we cannot react accurately, no matter how smart our brain might think it is. If it doesn't have the feedback from the other organs, it can never know reality. And so we want to listen to all our organs, not just to our senses. Not to use our senses to escape the other organs. And all our organs are waiting for us within our body. They're always there. We might run off in the imagination into a world that doesn't exist and live a story there, but in the meantime, the reality of our reactions, what's really taking place, is waiting for us within the body. The body knows. The mind doesn't always know. The body knows because it just changed. It's not the same body anymore. If we can listen to the body, then we will know, then we will be up to date with what's actually happening. If we're not listening to the organs, we don't know what's happening. We're in the mind. The mind is making up a story. It's reacting to its story from yesterday. And so return to the body and listen to the subtle sounds that are emanating from the organs. They're not sounds that we can hear with our ears. There are things that we can feel, like if someone is shaking our hand, then our hand has the impression within the skin. If we listen to our hand, we can hear the impression that's happening from the handshake. The same way with all the organs. If someone is causing a reaction within the heart, then when we are silent, we will hear the heart is having a reaction. And the same for all the other organs. They're all actively doing their duties, and we can listen in order to assist, in order to help them process their load, in order to remove the burden that's resulting in them not being able to do their function fully. We want to help each organ process whatever information it's processing in a way that helps it do its function, that helps it clear up anything that's been stuck within the system and blocking the function of the organ. With the heart, if it's offended, it's not doing its function because it's supposed to act out of love. If it's offended, it's not going to feel love, and so then the heart cannot function. So if the mind can listen into that and try to remove that barrier, the heart can return to its natural function. If we neglect what's happening in the heart, then the heart might stay in such a condition for a very long time. And in the meantime, we're functioning without a heart. It's a very dangerous way to function. And so we want to return, we want to listen, and we want to resolve. We want to resolve whatever the organs are carrying, whatever burden is being held by the organs, so the organs can do their duties. So the organs should be busy with new information that's coming in and processing live, not processing from years prior because things got stuck in the system and there was no one to listen. And so if we want to be in the presence, we have to first remove from the organs their burden. Each organ with whatever processing hasn't been resolved because it didn't know how, because it was too big, it was too much, it was too heavy, it was too hard. And now we can't receive the full function of our body, which means we can't have access to the full function of our soul. Every organ that's not operating at maximum capacity is reducing the ability of the soul to be itself. Because this is the vessel of the soul. This is exactly designed in order to contain the intelligence that can know itself, that can recognize who it is. And if any organ is not functioning fully, then that balance will not be there, the recognition will not happen. The soul will not recognize itself, it will still feel like a stranger. And that's why we return to our bodies, we listen, and we resolve. We find a way. This is the function of the intelligence. There's the innate intelligence that's running our body and doing its functions, and there's the conscious intelligence that's directing our body and interacting with the innate intelligence. And so the conscious intelligence has to become aware of what it is trying to accomplish within the organism. What is its function within this organism? Why is it here? It's not to go out and work and to make money. That's not why the intelligence is here. It's been enslaved to that function way too much for way too long. But what is the real function of this intelligence? Why is it here? What was it designed to do for this entity that it dwells within? And so there has to be cooperation between the conscious intelligence and the innate intelligence. If these two cannot get along, then there's going to be failure within the organism. Somewhere something is not going to work right. And so the conscious intelligence returns to the body to discover the innate intelligence, to discover the process of and the functions of the organs, to discover how everything that's happening within the mind is really a discussion between the organs. And the mind resolves. The mind directs and instructs the organs how to react to each situation, what to create as a result of that situation, where to take it, what to make of it, how to interpret that situation into biology. And this is done in our thoughts, and the thoughts that we're used to. We just don't realize their function. But within those thoughts, we're interpreting for the organ, for the organ's information, and giving them instruction on how to produce chemicals as a result. And then we experience those chemicals that we just instructed our organs to give us based on the information that we received from them. And so the more the intelligence is aware and understands its function, the more it's going to know how to choose right from wrong, how to give the right instructions to the organs, how to stay within reality, and not to get backed up by events that happened in the past. To allow the organs to process reality as is, and to react live to what is as it is. The body is the dwelling place of the spirit, which means that the spirit feels and experiences the world based on the condition of this dwelling place. It's the body that reports to the spirit what's happening in this planet. The spirit alone doesn't have access to this planet. And so when we return to the body, we're healing the dwelling place of the spirit. We're creating a dwelling place that is going to be suitable for the revelation of the divine. The divine cannot be revealed in a dwelling place that is inappropriate. The divine cannot be revealed in a body where the organs are in conflict with each other, because then it's going to result in a divine conflict, and that wouldn't be good for anyone. And so wherever there's conflict, the divine leaves, so that it doesn't use its own force against itself. That would be ridiculous. Where there is the unity of the organs, there's the revelation of the divine. So we have to prepare our bodies for that revelation. And then when there is unity, then we return to a place that is beyond the body, the body is no longer a hindrance. The body is only a hindrance when the organs are not in their proper order, they're not doing their function accurately, they are consumed with some type of a problem. And then the soul cannot dwell, and then there cannot be a revelation of the divine. And so when we are repairing the body, we're simply removing a hindrance so that our soul can naturally be revealed as it was designed to be revealed within the body, naturally. And that's the ultimate unification, is when there's no distinction between the soul and the body. The body is the soul and the soul is the body, because all the organs are united for their function in order to serve the soul. And the soul is pleased with the behavior of the organs. And then there's a unification. There's no longer a distinction between the body and the soul. There's just a soul. He happens to appear in this realm through his body, but that body is not in conflict with the soul. That body is in complete unison with the soul. This is the revelation that awaits. This is the distinction between exile and redemption. And so each one of us is doing our part in preparing the body so that it can receive the soul. We each have different areas where we are prepared and different areas where we are less prepared. And this is what we pass on to future generations. And then they prepare. And as soon as we're prepared, then it will appear. It's not like there's something else that's standing in its way. If we remove the hindrance, then what is will be. Of course it will. And so that's why we have to learn to listen. We have to really be there. We have to really take it seriously, because it's so much more important than what's happening in the outside world. It's so much more important than the things that come and go. These are the things that stay. This is the world that stays. This is the world that translates life and gives it a flavor, gives it a direction, gives it a purpose, gives it a meaning. It's all based on how our organs are doing. That's what's doing the translation. So the body can teach us wisdom. The body knows simply by being the way that it is, the way that it was designed to be. It knows how reality operates. And we can learn from it if we learn how to listen, how to be silent and observe, so that we can hear the subtle. It's always there, if we can only be quiet enough to listen.